the ridiculous anthropogenic climate change hoax. Why are they pushing climate change? Because it is a global problem, and it needs a global government to solve it. So the reason they're pushing the globalism, and that's the number one thing, global government. The reason they're pushing that is pushing the climate change is because their reasoning is only a united effort, global government, will do. I would remind you and everybody else that back in the 20th century, we had a neo-Marxist government in several countries, which is what they want here. And in every one of them, China, North Korea, Cambodia, USSR, and Cuba, and whatever other countries, every one of them evolved around where there was one dynamic, powerful, ruthless, charismatic personality at the top who became the absolute autocratic dictator. And that's what's going to happen sooner or later. There will be this one guy, and he will be called the pseudo-Christ, the instead of Christ, the false Christ. And Revelation 13:7 says power or authority was given him. Actually, the Greek says given to it. This Antichrist is not referred to by masculine or personal pronouns, but by it, neuter. Power was given to it over all kindreds, nations, and tongues. And it causes all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their forehead, that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark or the number of the beast or the number of its name. They won't call it him or his or he. It's it. I don't know if that's artificial intelligence or what, or somebody from another planet. I don't know. But it's not human. So here's complete control, economic, governmental, across the board. This is Orwell's 1984. This is Nietzsche's will to power on demonic steroids. And I could go on and on. I just don't want to wallow in it. Well, I guess I did a little bit. That's why I just don't want to get into all these links that you send me. It just gets worse and worse. Send me something uplifting. Send me something nice. Here's what God did in this church or something, whatever. Okay, so what do we do? This is the challenge we're facing. It's serious. It's going to affect the way we live. It already has. What do we do? What can we do? What can we do to see God turn this whole ship around? Well, several things. We need to be praying for an ideological awakening. It has to start there. Ideological awakening in our schools and our universities. I've talked to you about the Frankfurt School. If you don't know what that is, you are an uneducated Christian. You're uninformed. They came here to cause the average, in 1933, to cause the average American to hate America and to hate the Christian religion. And they said, we're going to get in the schools to do it. They started with Columbia University, Harvard, Yale, Princeton, and now what we have in the universities is, for the most part, the ideological descendants of the original Frankfurt School neo-cultural Marxists. And all of this stuff, the teaching of ethical relativism, you make up your own little code of ethics, epistemological relativism, reductive naturalism, scientific materialism, uniformity of natural causes in a closed system. God may be off there somewhere, but he can't get into the box. That must be replaced by an empirically and biblically based philosophy that recognizes the reality of the metaphysical. That's the realm beyond the physical. The metaphysical, the transnatural, the noumenal, the transcendent, the spiritual. Okay, the spiritual. Think of all these people who have been warped by the Frankfurt School mentality in the universities. They are now members of Congress.